Being Act of New Jersey. Let the official minutes reflect that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by publishing a notice in the Asbury Park Press on Tuesday, January 8th, 2019, and also forwarded to the Toms River Times, Toms River Patch, and WOBN News on Wednesday, January 3rd, 2019, and thereafter posting same on the Town Hall Bulletin Board for such notices and filing same with the Township Clerk pursuant to a resolution adopted by the Township Council on January 3rd, 2019. The notice was also posted on the Township webpage. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Here.
Councilman Kubel.
Present.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Present.
Councilman Roderick.
Here.
Councilman Turnbach.
Here.
Council Vice President Hill.
Here.
Council President Whitman.
Here.
The first item are the minutes. We have several. I will list who is able to vote on each. The first set of minutes is from April 9th, 2019, and the only person not eligible to vote is Councilwoman Maria.
Move the minutes into the record.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Kubel, second by Councilman Turnbach. Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
The next set of minutes is from April 23, 2019. Councilman Kubel, Roderick, and Council President Whitman were absent, so they are not eligible to vote.
Move the minutes?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Maruka, second by Councilman Turnbach. Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President, I think that's it. And last set of minutes is from May 14, 2019, in which Councilman Roderick, Council Vice President Hill, and Council President Whitman were absent.
Move the minutes?
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Maruka, second by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
He wasn't here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Next item are the honoring resolutions and presentations tonight. We are-
Allison, do you have to have that where you abstained or not? Not required?
No, they are not able to vote if they weren't present.
But are
Okay.
we required to abstain
Yeah.
on the record?
I just wondered if, for the record, we need to abstain.
We don't at the plan.
Council Attorney?
If you weren't present to vote,
Correct.
you don't have to now.
Don't have to
The
abstain?
roll
Okay,
call would indicate that you weren't present.
okay.
Next are our honoring resolutions and presentations, and tonight we are honoring National Police Week, the Police Unity Tour, 2018 PBA Local of the Year Award, and we have several retirements, promotions, and awards going out to members of the Toms River Police Department. We have the retirement of Detective Randy Petrick, badge number 235. We have the retirement of Detective Kevin Scully, badge number 246. We have the swearing in of Officer Alexander Van Loo, badge number 441. We have promotion to detective for Ryan Quinn, badge number 361. We have promotion to detective for Theodore Maloney, badge number 359. And we have the presentation of several awards: the Class C Award to Detective Theodore Maloney, the Life Saving Award to Sergeant Edmund Mooney, the Life Saving Award to Patrolman Michael Rienstra, Life Saving Award to Patrolman David Talty and Frank Moschella, and Christine Geske, Life Saving Award to Patrolman Adam Worth and Patrolman Joshua Pedalino, the Life Saving Award to Patrolman John Mariscano and Patrolman John Miner, the Life Saving Award to Patrolman Michael Foy, and a last Life Saving Award to Patrolman Jason Putkowski.
Madam Clerk, there, you missed one there on the bottom.
Item
It's the
6, I think.
promotion to sergeant, which is Michael Galopoli.
Yes, I'm sorry. For, promotion to sergeant to Michael Galopoli as
The
well.
presentations.
Second?
Do I have a motion?
Councilman
second.
Kubel?
We need a second.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Mike, you made it. Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes. Council, would you join me in the well?
Good evening, how are you?
Okay. Dan, thanks. Huh? I'll just introduce myself. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tom Kelleher, the mayor, and tonight you heard our clerk read off a litany of police activities here tonight, and it's a pleasure to be able to preside over this with the rest of our members of the governing body. First, I'm going to ask our chief, Mitch Little, if he would join us up here. And the first award that we're going to present to the department, really, is a national award of National Police Week, and I believe my recollection is that this was established by President Kennedy back in the early 1960s to recognize nationally law enforcement throughout the country and to recognize officers who have been who have lost their lives in the defense of our citizens. So, Chief, I'm going to present this to you on behalf of myself and the members of the council as commemorating National Police Week. So.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor and council. Is everybody in here? Yeah, can you guys jump in here? All right. Okay. I want to take this opportunity.
Just make sure they don't stand in front of the mayor, that's all.
Obviously, thank you to the mayor and the council for always supporting us 100%, anything we need. And I want to also recognize my command staff. These guys are amazing. I couldn't do anything that I do without them. This department would not be where it is without them. And they're going to help me honor their officers tonight as well through their retirements and promotions and then following the awards. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Chief, the next thing we have is our Police Unity Award, so.
Okay.
Yeah. The first, this award tonight is a proclamation recognizing the officers from Toms River Police Department who participated in the Police Unity Tour. You see a lot of newspaper reports, news media about this event. It's a bicycle tour from departments all over the country that converges on Washington, D.C. to commemorate officers who have died in the line of duty. And we had 18 of our officers from Toms River participate. Is that the correct number? Okay. So we're going to ask you on behalf of all of the officers and the men who participated, if you would accept this proclamation. We got, these are the bicycle ride? Yeah. Did you? Yeah. That's it. Yeah, just don't stand in front of the mayor, whatever you do.
Come over here. Come over here.
Yeah, whoa. So we had 14 of our officers go, and it's a 4-day tour, and that's a strenuous exercise, but I'm sure you deserve a lot of credit to demonstrate. Huh? Oh, all right. Okay, I give up.
One more picture.
Okay. Yeah. But congratulations, and thank you for doing that, all right? Okay, good to see you guys. Okay. All right. Okay, nice job. The chief said that as long as you guys could ride bikes that far, maybe you don't need police cars anymore. So we'll see how that works out. And the next one is an award to our PBA, Local 137, which has been our longtime PBA local here in Toms River. Representative from the PBA, here they come. This is basically, as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, a recognition of the work that the PBA has done in connection with the Special Olympics. Is that pretty much correct?
That sums it up.
Okay.
We have a very active PBA. Mr. Mayor, we have a very active PBA, and here are just some of the members, but every patrol member or every patrolman of Toms River Police is a PBA member, and we're very fortunate that our guys get out, support the community with Special Olympics, the playgrounds that are being built, all those types of events. And we're always grateful that we get such good support from the mayor and the council. It allows us the time to do these things and give back to the community. So for that, we're grateful.
This includes the polar bear plunge?
Absolutely.
That's wonderful. So, please, on behalf of me as the mayor and on behalf of all the members of the council, please accept this proclamation, recognize the PBA for what you've done, and please share that with all of the members if you're local when you have the first opportunity.
We're grateful. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
We'd like to recognize retired Detective Randy Petrick. The PBA is fortunate enough to be able to give Detective Petrick a Silver Life card, and these cards are extremely rare. Randy is well deserving of this Silver Life card. He has participated in many different committees of the PBA. He's been a life member. Very importantly, he served on many of our negotiating committees. So for that, we're grateful, and we wish Randy well in his new career.
Chief, you want to come back? We're going to turn this over to Chief Little now to conduct the promotions, retirements, and awards.
We have a big agenda. We'll move through. I would like to bring Captain Mike Belcher up to honor his officers, his detectives for their retirements, and then the subsequent promotions. So, Mike, Captain Mike Belcher.
Thank you, Chief. Mayor, council members, family and friends, thank you for coming today. There's a lot to get through, and as you can see, some of it is quite voluminous, so we will try and get through it as best we can. But before we get started, as the Detective Bureau Commander, I just wanted to take the time to really give Detectives Petrick and Detective Scully a thank you from me, because I'm in my 25th year essentially, and when I was a newer police officer, these were the young, hot cowboys on the road who were doing it. Now, for someone who does not have a police background, the only thing I knew about police work was what I'd seen on TV, like most people. And when I got here, I learned a little bit more about how to interact with people, how to conduct yourself with people to gain respect from a law enforcement perspective, not just in life in general, which I already knew, but there was so much more to how a police department runs, how a police officer conducts him or herself on a daily basis when people are watching, and when they're not watching, that goes into making an effective and efficient police department. So a great deal of what I've learned here is not only from my training officer, Glenn Lucas, rest his soul, but it's also from officers, now detectives, like Randy Petrick and Kevin Scully. So I appreciate the leadership you have shown over these last 25, 30 years, Randy, 29 years. I learned a lot from you guys, and I'm greatly appreciative of it. Thank you. So here we go. Detective Randy Petrick, badge number 235. Detective Petrick grew up in Toms River and graduated from Toms River High School East. He attended Flagler College and Central Connecticut State University, achieving a bachelor's degree in marketing and finance. Detective Petrick joined the Dover Township Police Department on October of 1990 after graduating from Ocean County Police Academy, class number 56. During his career, he served as a network officer, which is similar to the DARE program. He was also a member of the Color Guard and a field training officer. He was assigned to the Ocean County Narcotics Strike Force in January 1995 through April of 96. And in April of 96, he was selected to be a member of the Department's Emergency Services Unit, what you guys might call the SWAT team. He was also assigned to investigate crimes against persons, bias crimes, and was a crisis negotiator. Detective Petrick was an instructor at the Law Enforcement Advanced Detective School and worked his way up to the co-administrator for the school. Now, that's a very high position. For those of you who don't know, what we call the lead school teaches people how to engage in investigations, how to engage in interrogations, things of that nature for major crimes. The school is run by the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office, and it's their command staff that runs it and operates and administers it. And to reach the level of co-administrator is a sign of respect to his capability and his character that he reached that high station in that school. So that's an honor, truly is. Detective Petrick also received numerous awards and commendations throughout his career. He lives in Toms River with his wife, Yamil, of 29 years. They have 4 children attending college: Keely, Hunter, Summer, and Holden. Yeah, that one hurts. You'll be working for a while. Detective Petrick is devoted to his family and extremely proud of his children. He is very grateful to his wife, Yamil, for her support and understanding throughout his career, with all the long hours and call-outs. And that one, ladies and gentlemen, is a big one. Any of you have family in the military or law enforcement, the spouses carry a great deal of weight at home, and they give a lot in terms of support and guidance. So thank you, Yamil. As he moves on to the next chapter of his life, he wishes all of his brothers and sisters in the department God's blessing and a safe career. He looks forward to spending more quality time and many, many years with his beautiful wife and children. Randy, thank you.
I just want to thank everybody. It's been an honor and privilege of serving Dover Township Police Department and Tom River Police Department. For the community members here, you got one hell of a police department. They're all dedicated, great guys, and among the best in the state of the country. Thank you.
You notice the guy who's retiring who was never late for work once. What do? We give him a clock. So, Randy, God bless you. Good luck to you. Okay.
All right, next, Detective Scully. Again, one of the guys who was doing it when I came on board, one of the guys you looked up to for how they were doing it and to learn how you should do it. It's become part of our culture here. There's just two examples of how we've become who we are and who has kept it going and who's trying to move the ball forward. Detective Kevin Scully. He's right here. Yep, we're good. Badge number 246. Detective Kevin Scully graduated from the Toms River High School East in 1985. He started working as a seasonal police officer in 1986 in Seaside Park. In 1989, Detective Scully graduated from the Ocean County Police Academy. He then worked for the Federal Bureau of Prisons from 92 to 1994. On May 2nd of 1994, he began his career with the Dover Township Police Department. Oh, how far we've come from Dover, which I still say on the phone sometimes if I'm not careful, to Toms River. Detective Kevin Scully was a member of the Bike Unit, Special Enforcement Unit, that's our narcotics unit, among other things. He was also a field training officer and a member of the Emergency Services Unit. He was also a school resource officer at Toms River High School North. In 2007, he was promoted to the rank of detective, and on June 1st, 2009, Detective Scully was assigned to the Jersey Shore Safe Streets Task Force with the FBI. He also served as a gang instructor for the Toms River Police Department. Detective Scully overcame 2 bouts of brain cancer during his career and could never thank everyone in the Toms River Police Department family enough for all their help getting through these cancer treatments. Detective Scully is thankful to the Toms River Police Department for the opportunity to be part of a great organization and for all the friends and memories over this 25-year period. Detective Scully is now going to concentrate on what is most important in his life: his daughter Kimberly, his son Daniel, his girlfriend Gina, and the rest of his extended family. Kevin, come on up. Now for the hard part. Kevin?
Everybody knows me. I don't speak much, so I'm just going to just thank everybody for the last 25 years. I never thank everybody enough, especially through the brain cancers. So good luck to everybody, and thank you all for letting me work for the last 25 years.
Okay, so as you might expect, when people retire in an organization like a police department or anywhere else, you have to replace your personnel. We've found 2 complementary replacements, 2 men who are up to the task and who've learned our culture. and who have embraced their leadership roles and are ready to get their nose to the grindstone. First up, the promotion of Detective Ryan Quinn, badge number 361. Detective Ryan Quinn began his law enforcement career in 2003 when he was hired as a booking officer with the Toms River Police Department. Now, for those of you out there, some of the younger guys and gals who want to become police officers, if you can get into an agency such as ours, in an entry-level position, and begin to demonstrate your capabilities and your commitment, how intelligent you are, and what you are willing to do to become better and to contribute, what it serves as is a long-term interview for where you want to be. So when you have an internship, or you have a job that appears to be menial in the very beginning, think of it as laying groundwork for where you want to be. It's never just a job, it's the job in front of the career that you want, so make it count. All right, as a booking officer, 2003. In 2006, Detective Quinn attained his bachelor's degree from Stockton University and was subsequently hired as a police officer in 2008, where he graduated from the Ocean County Police Academy. Detective Quinn, his time of patrol, he was a recipient of the Class C Award and Merit Award, as well as being named PBA 137 Officer of the Month. In 2014, Detective Quinn was assigned to the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office Narcotics Strike Force, specializing in narcotic-related investigations throughout Ocean County. Upon returning, he was assigned to the Toms River Police Department Special Enforcement Team, continuing investigations in narcotics distribution in the Toms River area and surrounding areas. He remained with the unit until his promotion here in 2019. Detective Quinn is joined today by his wife, Danielle, and their two sons, Declan, 5, and Shane, 1. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to do both of these readings, bring you both up and swear them both in at the same time. Good, okay. Without further ado, Theodore Maloney, ever so affectionately known as Teddy. Detective Theodore Maloney, a lifelong resident of Toms River, graduated from Toms River East in 2001. A member of the Collegiate National Honor Society, Detective Maloney graduated from Rutgers University in 2006 with a bachelor's degree in history. He began his law enforcement career with the Point Pleasant Beach Police Department and entered the Police Academy in January 2007. In 2008, he was hired full-time by the Ocean Township Police Department in Monmouth County. In June of 2008, Detective Maloney was excited to join the Toms River Police Department family, which he did. During his time as a patrol officer here at the Toms River Police Department, Detective Maloney was honored to receive a Medal of Gallantry, 2 Class C awards, a Life-Saving Award, a Merit Award, and to be named the PBA Officer of the Month. In 2013, he was selected to be a member of the Emergency Service Unit. In 2015, Detective Maloney was assigned to the Ocean County Prosecutor's Office Narcotics Strike Force. Upon returning in 2016, he was assigned to the Toms River Police Department Special Enforcement Team, continuing in-depth narcotic-related investigations. Since then, from 2017 to the time of his promotion here in 2019, Detective Maloney proudly served as a field training officer. Despite any work accomplishments, Detective Maloney is proudest of his family. He is joined today by his wife, Kim, and their 2 children, Jackson, 4, and Catherine, 3. All right, everybody, come on up. All right, Ryan, why don't you come up first? We'll do you one at a time instead. That's how we're going to put that on.
Raise your right hand and just back up so you can be in the back of it. Yeah. All right. Okay. Detective Quinn, I'm going to ask you to state your name and then repeat after me. Say, I, state your name.
I, Ryan Quinn,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of the office of Detective, Toms River Police Department,
perform all of the duties of the office of detective of the Toms River Police Department
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Ryan, congratulations. All right, okay. Yeah, you're a big boy though, yeah, all right. Ryan? Just take this over and sign it. All right. A lot of help here. All right, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Theodore Maloney,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
and that I will faithfully,
And I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of the office of detective, Toms River Police,
perform all the duties of the Office of Detective, Toms River Police,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Oh, here. There, okay. Look at the cameras, fellas. Yeah, back to you. Okay, reserved for posterity. Yeah, okay.
Okay, obviously with these retirements, we have to now replace our ranks. The next appointment will be Officer Alexander Van Loo, badge number 441. Hey, you can step in. Officer Van Loo was born in Red Bank, New Jersey, and has lived in Brick Township for most of his life. He graduated from Brick Township High School in 2013, went on to attend York College of Pennsylvania, where he received a BA degree in criminal justice. While attending college, Officer Van Loo worked for the Department of Campus Safety, where he was promoted twice and received the award for Officer of the Year 3 times. During that time at York College, he also completed an internship with the Mobile Police Department in Mobile, Alabama, where his twin brother, who's also his cousin, is also a police officer. After graduating from college, Officer Van Loo was hired by the Point Pleasant Police Department as a Class 2 officer and graduated from Ocean County Police Academy in May of 2018. Officer Van Loo served with the Point Pleasant Beach Police Department until December 2018, where he was hired as a full-time police officer with the Franklin Township Police Department in Somerset, New Jersey. He served with the Franklin Township Police Department until his appointment today as a police officer at Toms River. Officer Van Loo is joined today with his family and would like to thank them for the continued encouragement and support through his life. Good job. Awesome. Raise your right hand.
Okay. Officer, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. State your name.
I, Alexander Van Loo,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and the
States
Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United
and in this
States
state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of the office of police officer, Toms River Police,
perform all the duties of the office of police police officer, Toms River Police,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Okay.
All right, ready, Mike? All right, we have a promotion, a big promotion for tonight. Sergeant Michael Gallipoli, badge number 311. Sergeant Gallipoli was born in Point Pleasant, New Jersey, and moved to Toms River at the age of 10. He attended Toms River High School North. Upon graduation, he joined the United States Navy, where he served 4 years, was honorably discharged as a Petty Officer 3rd Class, with several awards and high-performance achievements and medals through his service to our country. Sergeant Gallipoli began his career in law enforcement with the Seaside Park Police Department after having graduated the Ocean County Police Academy in May of 2000. In August 2001, he was hired as a patrol officer with the Toms River Police Department. Sergeant Gallipoli has been on Toms River Motor Unit since 2011 as a police motorcycle instructor, licensed by Northwestern Center for Public Safety. He has performed numerous patrols, demonstrations, escorts representing the police department with both pride and professionalism, which have served to enhance the positive reputation of the department statewide. He has also been a field training officer for newly hired officers over the past several years. Mike, congratulations.
Thanks, sir. Okay, that's it. Raise your right hand and then repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Michael Gallipoli,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of the office of Sergeant, Toms River Police Department,
perform all the duties of the office of the Sergeant of the Toms River Police Department,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Next, I'm going to have Deputy Chief Michael Brosnan come up and start our awards.
Good evening, everyone. We're here tonight to honor some of our officers. Although we believe that the men and women of the Toms River Police Department do an incredible job day in and day out, sometimes their conduct rises to the level that they need to be recognized. And we'd like to thank the Mayor and Council for allowing us to do that here today, especially during Police Week. The first award we're going to give out tonight is a life-saving award. I'd like to call up Sergeant Edmund Mooney, and anybody he might want to bring up with him. On August 30th, 2018, in response to a motorcycle crash on the Tunney Bridge, where the male driver was ejected from his motorcycle and severed his right arm just below the bicep, Sergeant Mooney immediately rendered critical life support by applying a tourniquet. The victim was then transported by helicopter to the Jersey Shore Medical Trauma Unit for further treatment. Sergeant Mooney is commended for his quick response and for using his training and experience to save a person's life. Deputy Chief Harris would like to give the next award out.
Officer Frank Michella, Officer David Talty, Officer Christine Getsky, come on up, please. In November of 2018, Officers Getsky, Michella, and Talty responded to the scene of an unconscious elderly male they found not breathing. They quickly worked together to resuscitate using CPR, saving that person's life. For that, they're awarded a life-saving award. Congratulations.
Our next award is another life-saving award. I'd like to call up Officer Josh Pedalino and Officer Adam Worth. On December 14, 2018, in response to a 76-year-old male who was not breathing and had no pulse, Officer Pedalino and Officer Worth rendered critical basic life support in a concerted effort in the form of cardiopulmonary resuscitation and the use of an automated external defibrillator. Life-saving efforts were continued until the victim regained a pulse and was transported to Community Medical Center for further treatment. Officer Pedalino and Officer Worth are commended for their immediate response and for using their training, experience, and equipment to save a person's life.
Officer Michael Foy. In February 2019, Officer Foy responded to an unconscious elderly male found unconscious, not breathing. Officer Foy acted on his own, taking immediate action, initiating CPR, and saved that person's life. For that, he's awarded a life-saving award. Congratulations.
One more life-saving award, Officer Jason Putkowski, if you'd like to come up. On February 12, 2019, in response to a 52-year-old unresponsive female, Officer Putkowski rendered critical basic life support in a concerted effort in the form of cardiopulmonary resuscitation and the use of an automated external defibrillator. Life-saving efforts were continued until the victim regained a pulse and was transported to Community Medical Center for further treatment. Officer Putkowski is commended for his immediate response and for using his training, experience, and equipment to save a person's life.
Our last award for tonight, Detective Ted Maloney. On August 6, 2018, in response to a woman screaming for help, Detective Maloney entered a residence by kicking open the front door. He found a male attacking a female with a weapon, hitting her about the head. Officer Maloney acted alone without backup by taking the suspect into custody and saving that woman's life. Officer Maloney also was able to charge that person with attempted homicide. He's awarded a Class C award. Congratulations.
Okay. You have another one? No, we're good. We're good. Okay. This concludes our ceremony for tonight on the police side. I want to thank everybody for their patience and supporting us, as always. We're going to be taking a quick break so families can exit safely, and then, yeah, or you're welcome to stay. But if I could have everybody that was part of tonight, the promotions, the awards, everybody come up here for a very quick picture while everybody else exits, and then we'll have private pictures downstairs as well. All right? Thank you.
Stay in touch.
Val, we're so glad you were. My page, you wasn't happy.
Listen, you're fine.
Congratulations. Best luck on your retirement. I like it when you said Dover. We haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah,
I like, I remember it as Dover, yeah.
That's how I remember it. It's
Yeah.
hard.
I knew that was going to take a long time.
Huh?
I knew that was going to take a long time.
Well, we should be moving this right along.
As soon as the people get out of here. Well.
I start banging the gavel.
Well, I gotta get our team back. I mean, they're out there.
Oh, there she is. Oh, jeez. Look at my computer reset. I got this baby open on my left here.
Right, so it's not on there, right.
Or they all came to the seaside. Nothing to the barn. It's special. Yeah. And even the retired guys. Captain Kedek.
Wasn't discussed beforehand, so we tried to do something, they gotta make an objection. They can't. What is that? You can't put that up. No, it's blocking everything. You can't put it up at all. What is it?
Where should I put it over there?
No, I don't think you can put it up at all. What is it?
Oh, I think I can.
No, it's,
No, I think it's our meeting.
well, then you gotta put it down. It's not on the agenda. What is it? Yeah.
Oh, no, it's just, yes, it is. Tom said he's gonna.
What agenda? Well, no, but he didn't do it, so it's, you can't put it over there because it's not something we're gonna discuss. No.
What is it?
It's someone on Sibagaki. No, you can't be doing that. He said you sent him an email, you're gonna confront him on it, but I said it's not on the agenda. Well, then, I know, well, as soon as we get started, well, again, I think there's council members that have a concern about it, so you have to tell me what you want to do. Okay, let's continue, Allison.
Item number 7 on the agenda is an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Toms River, Ocean County, New Jersey, amending and supplementing various sections of Chapter 348, Land Use and Development Regulations of the Township Code. This is a final reading.
Council President,
Yes.
before we proceed, I can't see out to anybody in the audience at this point in time, and I would just ask that
All the way.
whatever is being depicted here
Is
be
it
moved.
blocking you? I'm sorry, Terrence. We should slide it over a little.
Thank you, Council President.
Okay. I'll ask the attorney if that's a permitted item, since it's not on the agenda.
I don't know what it is, but the agenda is formulated by Council President in conjunction with the clerk's office. So if it is not part of that process, then I don't know how it can come on.
Well, it's not on the agenda. It's just a freedom of speech issue, is it not? I mean, Tom said he wanted to confront me at this meeting about the plan to develop Sibagagi, so I brought in the email that Don sent and a piece of the master plan, which is a public document, and I believe the email was a public document as well, because it's published in a newspaper.
Council President, I do have one concern. It's my understanding that we're in court over a tax appeal, that anything we say or do can be used against us in the court. And I would ask the attorney if that is appropriate behavior, because I certainly don't want to lose a court appeal for something that was printed in a newspaper.
So you think you would lose a court appeal because of something being printed in a newspaper?
I'm asking a question, because we were advised, when some of this came up, not this, some of this came up, that we had to be careful what we said or anything about Sibagagi.
Well, this is public record. I mean, it was sent over the township email system. So unless, Tom, I know you want to confront me. I mean, you want to confront me now on the email, or?
Again, we're out of
You
order
said in the
right
newspaper,
now.
you said you wanted to confront me today. Do you want to confront me? If you want to confront me, we'll leave the email up. If not, I'll take the email down.
Okay, at this point, it's not on the agenda. He didn't confront you. I would request.
Well, the email is right there.
I
It says they want to develop 800 acres of
Okay,
Sibagagi,
I
so I
understand
want to
what-
know if anybody is going to confront me here today.
I understand what you said. I'd ask that it be taken down because it's not on the agenda and it's not part of this meeting. If you want to have a discussion with the mayor about it, it can be
Well, no,
after.
but the mayor said in
Well,
the Asbury
yeah.
Park Press that he wanted to confront me today. There's an email right there, and there's the public record right
What I
there.
would
There's
ask
a-
is that if-
there's the master plan that says you're going to encourage multifamily use
I understand
on
that.
Sibagagi.
I understand what it says.
Mixed
but
use
again, it's not on the
residential,
agenda.
mixed use
Yeah, It's
residential.
not on the agenda, so we can't.
Okay,
really
well,
get-
then the mayor should not have commented like that in the newspaper,
again, it's
correct?
not his
I mean, he
meeting.
said some very
Council meeting.
disparaging remarks about me, and here's the email right here, sir. Here's the email.
Again, it's not on the agenda. I would ask that we move on and have that taken down. So I'd ask Dan, the security guard, to take that down. It's not part of the agenda. If you want to discuss that later and it comes up, we can take it.
Well, that's
we
the
can have a
master
discussion.
plan right there.
Okay.
Mixed-use residential on Sibagagi.
All right, thank you.
Calling me a liar. Sir, you should be embarrassed.
Allison, would you continue, please? Oh, so we have, this is the first part of this ordinance, ordinance number 7, open for public comment. Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance number 7, please raise your hand and come forward to the microphone and be recognized. And I guess the microphone has to be moved over, Mark. It's over there. So we have Pat Klaslow who would like to speak on this ordinance.
Pat Klaslow, Ortley Beach. Is this the ordinance regarding the attics that are going to be, they're talking about in Toms River, raising the height requirement?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, I have a problem with 7 feet. There's so much illegal stuff going on in Ortley Beach that people are building third floors saying it's for storage. I have a neighbor, he's got a third floor, he's got sliding glass doors, he's got a patio. You're going to tell me that they're not going to convert it into living space. My other concern is when the master plan said that I believe the height restriction was 36 feet to the mean ridge or whatever, I'm not sure what it is. And after the storm, it was said if anybody is at the 36 feet, that they would be given the opportunity to raise it to become in compliance with FEMA regulations. If you go over there now, did they change the heights? Because the height that is going on over there is absolutely ridiculous what they're allowing. Now they're saying that you can't put bedrooms up there. They're going to do it. Is the restriction still 36 feet to the mean ridge line?
It was never 36 feet, it was 35 feet to the midpoint of the roof. And what happened is, after the storm, we said that it's measured from the base flood elevation. So if you had a base flood elevation of 7 feet, then the midpoint to the roof would be 7 feet plus whatever your midpoint is, up to 42. That would be the maximum. If it was 8 feet, it'd be 43. And that was determined back in 2012 or 2013 after the storm. In terms of the 7 feet, that's a building code issue in terms of you can build 3-story structures in Ortley Beach just like you can in pretty much every section of the town. And the only difference is that the 7 feet is what could be habitable space. So if there's 7 foot, it could be considered a bedroom. If it's less than 7 foot, it wouldn't be considered a bedroom, and that's in the building code. So that's not something that we're really changing. And I can ask Mr. Roberts to come up and explain it in more detail, but essentially 35 feet to the midpoint of the roof plus the base flood elevation would be basically what the height restriction is.
Okay, because originally we were told that anybody that was there, they could raise it, but they were going to maintain the original. But my concern is people keep going for variances. Now, variances are supposed to be offered for hardships. So people that are coming down and they're buying property, and now all of a sudden they want to build these big things, it's like, how can it be a hardship? You knew when you bought the property what the code was and everything else. They're going for variances, you're putting the firemen at risk, you're putting police officers at risk, you're putting EMTs at risk, you're putting the people that live in those houses at risk. When you've only got 4 feet between you and your fence or your next door neighbor, there's a problem there. Something's got to be done. Several years ago, there was a fire. I live 2 blocks away from the fire. Over by the beach, it gets very windy. The embers were flying all over. You're lucky the entire neighborhood did not go up in flames. So my concern or my question is, in the event that they keep passing all these variances and allowing them to be built right next to one another, should there be a major fire and the town goes up, can we sue the planning board or zoning or whoever who granted the variances?
I guess you can sue anyone you want in America, so to answer your question, we can't stop anyone from suing anyone else. However, the building code requires that if they're less than 5 feet from the property line, that it has to be fire-rated construction on the outside walls. So you can't have, it's limited window space, and it's very limited window space, and the building itself, the walls of the building have to be fire-rated, and including overhangs and eaves and things like that. So there is a whole section of the code that covers that, and Mr. Roberts can answer any other questions you have in more detail, but that's essentially what it is. In terms of Wortley Beach, the changes in terms of property line setbacks really haven't been changed since 2012 that I'm aware of. So this is basically to clear up some confusion to 7 feet about whether or not what would be habitable versus not habitable, and to bring the zoning ordinance in line with what the building code requires in terms of ceiling heights and what's habitable and not habitable. So, you can make an argument that if you have a 5-foot attic, someone could go in the attic and convert it to space. We can't stop folks from doing illegal activities, and if they do that, I'd suggest you call us and file a complaint, and we can then address it. But until we just can't stop everything from happening in a residence.
Well,
People are going to do things that aren't necessarily in accordance with the law.
I've gone to the building department and I've asked about certain things. I wanted to see the plans for an attic and stuff like that, and I was told I couldn't see it. So for some of us, we can't tell whether or not they've done it. So my recommendation is, when we do the reevaluation, if they cannot get into the attic to see what it is being used at, that they will charge them as having been being usable space and be taxed accordingly. Because I come here, I have to do every single thing legally. When I put my outdoor shower in, I had to hook it into the sewer line. I had to raise it above base flood elevation. And if the code enforcer ever went around the town, there's so many people that have built outside showers, it's not hooked to the sewer line. I'm paying extra money because I'm following what it says, and I want these people to be caught, because we should be getting the taxes that we're supposed to be on every single property. So that's my concern.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Roberts, do you have anything to add to what I said, or no?
Good evening, Council President. Council, Council President, you had described the situation with respect to 2 definitions. One is gross habitable floor area, which is the 7-foot versus 5-foot. That was changed last year. That's not the subject of this ordinance. This ordinance contains a definition of habitable attic, and it was really meant to apply to situations where there were limitations on usable levels, and there was going to be an additional attic over that usable level, which up until that point we were strictly enforcing as saying, no, you can't have anything more than 1 usable level, 2 usable levels, et cetera, and those mostly applied in the North Beaches. However, there was some concern by the planning board expressed in the definition over a habitable attic over a 2nd floor that potentially would be used for sleeping purposes, and the Land Use Committee is still working on the language for that.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else wish to speak on this? Yes, ma'am.
I'm Marianne Wallace, 1 2nd Avenue, Wortley Beach. I'm here for the OBBTA. We're surprised to see this on the final read. We were told there would be further discussion and that this would be tabled for a bit more. Can you explain why this is being put through so quickly?
It was noticed, and we have to open up for public comment. What we do with it afterwards is another story, but at this point we had to have it open for public comment since it was advertised.
I don't feel equipped to respond to it because I don't know, is it the same ordinance that you started out with a few weeks ago? Is it?
Yes.
It is the same ordinance.
Yes.
Well, we had many concerns about that, some of which were expressed
Right.
by my fellow Ortley
Right, as
resident.
I explained to you, since it was advertised, it had to be, and for public notice, that we had to have public comment on it. What we do with it after this is closed is something else, but right now, we need to have take public comment on it.
Well, we are concerned about several issues. One is the fire issue, and we want to make sure that if it is, that there is habitable space there and it's included, we want to make sure that if the equipment is, can get to it. The houses are so close together in Ortley that we really do have a growing fear about this right now. We're also worried about consistency. There are people who were told they couldn't build that, and now they're being told they could build. There's a lot of confusion among people, and I think a lot of people might be caught, who tried to do the right thing might be caught in a trap here where when the reassessment happens, they may have to pay extra or they may be penalized for it. But really, there's been such a change here that we're a little confused by which direction you're going to go, and we recommend that you not pass this until there's further discussion and analysis of it, and before we can understand a little bit better the full impact and express more of our concerns about it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else?
Seeing none, move to close public comment.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Council, what would you like to do on this? Would you like to carry it?
Council President, I move that we postpone this ordinance until we have an opportunity to have further discussion with the OBVTA and finalize the language at the Land Use Committee.
I'll second that.
Motion to postpone indefinitely made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Roderick. Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes, to table.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 8 is an ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Tums River, Ocean County, New Jersey, supplementing Section 477-61, Schedule 3, no stopping or standing of Chapter 477, Vehicles and Traffic, of the Township Code to establish no stopping, no standing restrictions on a portion of Joseph Street in the Township of Tums River, New Jersey, first reading.
Move the ordinance on first?
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Item 9 is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 516 Animals of the Township Code to establish a Canadian geese control program, first reading.
Move the ordinance up.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Move the ordinance on first reading.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Yurick, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Next item is the consent agenda. All matters listed under item consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired on any item, that item will be considered separately.
A is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing refund of overpayment of taxes to various properties. B is a resolution of the Township Council certifying entitlement of a 100% disabled veteran status and providing that property taxes be canceled and/or refunded. C is a resolution of the Township Council certifying entitlement of 100% widow of a disabled veteran status and providing that property taxes be canceled and/or refunded. D is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing award of a contract to Site Enterprises Incorporated as lowest responsive bidder, meeting all specifications for the demolition of Red Carpet Inn and the total contract amount not to exceed $345,000. E is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing the purchasing division to advertise and receive bids for replacement of curbs and sidewalks at various township locations. F is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing the township to utilize and authorizing payment to J.K. Siva Incorporated for the Kronos upgrade at a total cost estimated to be $36,450. G is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing a professional service contract with the firm of Remington and Vernick Engineers to assist the Township's Engineering Division with the drainage, paving, and lighting design specifications and coordination project at the Gardens at Pleasant Plains for a total maximum contract amount not to exceed $102,500. H is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing change order number 1 with Nicklaus Construction Company for the resurfacing of 26 tennis courts and 6 basketball courts in various township locations in the maximum amount not to exceed an additional $12,500 for a total project amount not to exceed $304,100. I is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing the mayor to execute and the township clerk to attest to a traffic signal agreement between the Township of Toms River, the Toms River Fire District Number 1, and the State of New Jersey Department of Transportation for the installation of a traffic signal at the intersection of Route 166 and Highland Parkway. J is a resolution of the Township Council authorizing the renewal of pocket liquor license 1507-33-001-008 issued to 37 Eats LLC pursuant to NJABC Special Ruling 33:1-12.39. K is a resolution of the Township Council releasing performance guarantees and accepting maintenance guarantees for a major subdivision known as Lauren Estates, Block 688.03, lots 14 and 112 at Clifton Avenue. L is a resolution of the Township Council releasing performance guarantees and accepting maintenance guarantees for a major site plan known as Lester Glen, Block 506.02, lots 20 and 21 at 1193 and 1199 Route 37 West. M is a resolution of the Township Council releasing performance guarantees and accepting maintenance guarantees for a minor site plan known as the Hindu Temple, Block 171, Lot 40 at 1916 Lakewood Road. N is a resolution of the Township Council accepting reduced performance guarantees for a major site plan known as State Liquors, Block 192.05, lots 1, 61, and 78 at Hooper Avenue. O is a resolution of the Township Council releasing maintenance guarantees for a minor subdivision known as Wallach Drive, Block 410.01, lot 19.02 at Wallach Drive. P is a resolution of the Township Council releasing performance guarantees and accepting maintenance guarantees for a minor subdivision known as Block 1056.03, lots 13 and 14 at Surf Road. Q is a resolution of the Township Council accepting performance guarantees for a minor subdivision known as Block 807, lots 16 and 17 at Anthony Avenue. R is a resolution of the Township Council accepting performance guarantees for a minor subdivision known as Block 787, Lot 109 at 513 Parkwood Avenue. S is a resolution of the Township Council accepting performance guarantees for a minor site plan known as Block 654.01, lots 21 at 508 Hooper Avenue. T is a resolution of the Township Council accepting performance guarantees for a minor site plan known as Mariners Auto Care LLC at Block 403, Lot 3 at 1200 Lakewood Road. U is a resolution of the Township Council accepting performance guarantees for a minor subdivision known as Polemus, Block 655.03, lots 6 through 12 at Melrose Drive. V is a resolution of the Township Council designating a conditional redeveloper for Hooper Claudina redevelopment area and authorizing the execution of an interim cost agreement with respect thereto. W is a resolution of the Township Council requesting the Township Planning Board undertake a preliminary investigation of redevelopment areas as designation and provide recommendations as to whether all or portions of Block 668, Lot 9 and 13, commonly known as 1 Robbins Parkway, at the Boat Works Building and Robbins Parkway parking lot satisfies the criteria to be designated as the area in need of redevelopment.
Okay, at this point, I'd ask that items K and Q be pulled off for roll call vote.
K and Q.
K and Q from my perspective. Anyone else?
Council President, I need a roll call on I.
Okay, and then make that I, K, and Q.
And Council President, I need a roll call on G.
G. Okay, so I, G, K, and Q.
Council President?
Yes.
Separate discussion on V.
I'm sorry, which one?
V.
V, okay. Anyone else? Okay, anyone from the public would like anything discussed separately from the consent agenda?
Seeing none, move the consent agenda.
Second.
The balance of the agenda, with the exception of K, Q, I, G, and V, moved by Councilwoman Maruka, second by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman?
Yes. Could we have a roll call on K and Q to start?
Motion for K and Q?
Second?
A motion on K and Q, motion made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
I have to abstain. I have a conflict on both of those items.
Okay.
Move item G?
Somebody second that?
Second.
Motion made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
I have to abstain. I have a conflict.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Motion to move item I?
Second?
Motion made by Councilwoman Maruka, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Abstain, I have a conflict.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes. Item V, Councilman Hill.
I just wanted to highlight this. This is part of the Codina Hooper Avenue redevelopment area. We've had talks with the United Postal Service to move their headquarters out there, which would open up that West Water Street area for downtown redevelopment. And also, it's still in the running for the VA Medical Center, which is roughly about 3 times the size of the one in Brick, which would be an increase in jobs and also ratables for that area, because the VA would be renting, it wouldn't be owning the property. So I want to thank Dave Roberts for putting this together. It was close to the close on the bid for this to get into the running for the VA. And I know he and Don did a yeoman's job in about 2 weeks, I think, to pull that all together and get it so that the VA will be considering this. I think it's a good site. It's got a lot of services around there for the veterans. And I just wanted to call that out and highlight it. And I'd like to move V.
Second.
Do I have a second? I'm sorry.
Brian, second.
Councilman Kubel?
Motion made by Council Vice President Hill, seconded by Councilman Kubel. Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes, and I'd like to thank Council Vice President Hill for all of your efforts in this regard. You really have guided this along the way from the start of this, and it's much appreciated.
Thank you, Terrence.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
Next on the agenda are the bills.
Move the bills.
Second?
Motion made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilman Kubel.
Abstain to PO 19-02256 payable to the Toms River Bureau of Fire Prevention, and 19-01996 payable to St. Barnabas Health. Yes to the balance.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Abstains to PO 19-02176, 19-03041, 19-03042, and 19-02160, 19-02865, and 19-02025, 19-02345, and 19-02666. Those all payable to NJMVC. I have a conflict on those, and then also 19-00863, 19-01678, 19-02164, and 19-02516. That's payable to Dasty McGuckin. 19-0094 and 19-02330, payable to Gregory McGuckin. Conflict. 19-00456, 19-02092, and 19-02631, payable to Terry Brady. I have a conflict. And 19-02590, payable to Waters Edge Condos. I have a conflict. Yes to the balance.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Abstain from PO 17-01326, 19-01677, 19-02163, 19-02169, 19-02517, 19-02697, 19-02698, payable to Remington and Vernick. I have a conflict. PO 19-02865, line 19, 19-02025, line 19, 19-02345, line 21, and 19-02666, line 18, only as it pertains to the recreation salaries. And that's the Toms River Township payroll. Borough of Lavallette is PO 19-00619. I have conflict, and yes to the balance.
Councilman Roderick.
My email system was down, so I haven't had an adequate amount of time to review this, although I never usually have a conflict, so I'm going to abstain though tonight.
Councilman Turnbach.
Abstain from PO 19-02865, 19-02025, 19-02345, 19-02666, payable to magistrates. Abstain from PO 19-00455, payable to law firm of Siddle, Holzapfel, and Zabarski. Abstain from PO 19-01925, payable to the Ocean County Court Administrators. And I'd abstain from PO 19-00863, 19-01678, 19-02164, 19-02516, 19-00994, and 19-02330, payable to law firm of Daston McGuckin. I'm a local attorney in town. I have conflicts with those. Yes to the balance.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes with the following abstentions: 19-01996, payable to St. Barnabas Health; 19-00164, Toms River Schools; 19-00456, 19-02092, 19-02631, payable to Terry Brady Esquire, and 19-02203, payable to the Board of Health, Ocean County. I sit on that board. Yes to the balance.
And Council President Whitman.
Yes, I need to abstain to purchase order number 19-02697, 19-02169, 19-02163, line 14. That's for Remington and Vernick as pertains to Area Properties LLC. I have business dealings and partners with Area on some projects. Also on purchase order number 19-02698 for GW Development, it's a conflict fees for Remington and Vernick. On page 13, purchase order number 19-01678, line 7, as pertains to Frank Sadeghi. And purchase orders number 19-01264, line 22, and 19-02185, lines 3 and 4, in the amount of $769.08 for Toms River Yacht Club. I'm a member. Yes to the balance.
And next, our elected officials' comments.
I just need a question, Council
Sure.
President, and I guess it's probably for our attorney. So 3 of us abstained from specific lines on the POs for the township payroll, and Councilman Roderick abstained from everything. So will those not pass again? Can perhaps Councilman Roderick review the Township of Toms River payroll so that he may at least
Well-
approve those?
Let's take the easier part. Councilman Roderick abstained, but you didn't abstain for a conflict. You simply abstained.
Simply abstained because I haven't had adequate time to
So we
review.
have a quorum for those bills, and then we have 3 of the 4 votes of the quorum voting for it, so we should pass it.
No, well,
We need 4 for.
Oh, I'm sorry, we didn't have 4 for the,
no, it would only be 3-3,
So
but
we
they're,
didn't
I
have
think
four
they're
before?
different, but I think they're
The
different
different
lines on
lines.
there.
So
Right.
can we pass
Yes.
them
Yeah.
on
You want to
different
pass the
lines?
payroll?
we should.
Yeah. My abstentions were for special duty officers that work at motor vehicle.
Yeah.
If we
There-
can get
and I-
4
We have
votes,
specific lines.
Hold on, but I think we did different lines. Yeah.
So we have enough votes to carry every line, it's just that it's
Which one?
individuals.
you want to separate the lines?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? Recall those lines so the vote can be clear for the record.
Specifically for Toms River Township payroll.
Most of the candidates are here,
Do you want the list, Allison?
I'm sorry?
Do you want the list? It might be easier,
No, she should have it.
it might be easier for her to look at the.
Recreation salaries on page 1.
What,
It's one,
why do you have to abstain from recreation salaries?
Because my husband teaches karate for the township, and that's.
Oh, he
the
works for the
fund.
township now?
Yes, since 2001.
Okay.
Okay.
and Maria, special duty from motor vehicle.
So why don't we do the special duty one first? And we'll vote for the payroll for everything, including special duty, with the exception of recreation salaries. Let's do that first. Township payroll, everything but, including the special duty pay for police officers, but
Including special
excluding
duty.
the recreational salaries.
I will move direct the township payroll with the exception of PO 1902865, line 19, 1902025, line 19, and 1902345, line 21.
We have a second on that.
And 1902666, line 18.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You can't vote.
Oh, you got to.
No, he said with the
Gotta do a roll
exception
call.
of.
Okay, okay.
He said with the exception of.
Got it, okay.
Yeah, right.
Right, so she-
Just do a roll
Okay.
call.
Motion made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes. Okay. Now we need one with the, excluding the recreation salaries. Right?
No, it'd be
Without- I'm
recreation
sorry, without the.
salaries.
That did.
Without the police, without the, for the.
Which POs is that?
The police, special duty for the police.
Is that
was
all
the
the
other
ones
one
on the
missing.
motor vehicle, Maria?
It is, Brian, yes.
All right,
Yes.
I'm moved with the exception of PO 1902176, 1903041, 1903042, 1902160, 1902865, lines 93, 101, 102, 1902025, lines 94, 107, 108, 1902345, lines 100,
The regulatory agency said anything about
109,
the solar panels.
11019 through 02666, lines 93, 100, and 101.
Second.
But as far as the environmental stuff.
Motion made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes, Maria, I think you want to abstain from that because that was
I
the,
thought that was with the exception of those
I think you
lines.
needed.
no, you think you have
Oh,
to,
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
you need to abstain.
Motion to reconsider, I will abstain.
Maybe I should have just voted for
everything.
everything.
Abstain
Yeah.
from the previous one.
Right.
And then what's,
Okay.
what's
And
the
now we
third
need the
one?
magistrate salaries and the clerk salaries for Terrence. Same
Oh.
POs.
With regard to the magistrate salaries, I would abstain from PO 19-02865, line 35, 19-02025, line 36, 19-02345, line 40, 19-02666, line 34, and also 19-01925, relative to the court administrators. On the list we've been provided, the court clerk salaries are listed there. I don't have a conflict with the court clerk salaries, as I don't appear in Tom's River Municipal Court.
I will move that with,
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Kubel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick.
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka.
Yes.
Councilman Roderick.
yes.
Councilman Turnbach.
But abstain.
Council Vice President Hill.
Yes.
Council President Whitman.
Yes.
We got it. Yep.
Now, elected officials' comments.
Okay. Mayor Kelleher.
I have in front of me here a series of about a dozen newspaper articles that seem to increase with intensity as each day goes on, having to do with the measles epidemic in this country and particularly in our geographic area. The latest article culminated this morning with a story in the Wall Street Journal about the state of New York. The state of New York Department of Health has now mandated that all youngsters attending any summer camps in the state of New York have to show proof of inoculation. I've discussed this matter this morning with our Director of Recreation and with our Director of our youth facilities, and I'm sure you all understand that we average about 600 youngsters enroll in the recreation program and approximately 200 enroll in the youth center program. And it's our intention that both of those directors are in agreement that we should incorporate this mandate and follow the guidelines of the New York State Department of Health with respect to these youngsters enrolling in our program. We still have time to implement it. Our law department, as of this afternoon, thought that it might be appropriate to reduce this or incorporate this in an ordinance. We'll be drafting one to present it to Council President and the rest of the council. But I just wanted to let you know that we're planning on doing this with the support of the directors of those two organizations.
Is that it?
That-
Okay, thank you. Allison, before we continue, can you take Mr. Roderick's poster and put it back up on the easel? Because I assume he wants to discuss that, and that was part of his discussions. Councilman Turnback?
I'm very happy to see that the resolution is passed for the red carpet and the demolition of the same. And I'm also happy to see that we're beginning to look at the property across from the Water Street Bar and Grill as potentially an area in need of redevelopment. So we are making great progress in our downtown with regard to bringing people down and making downtown Toms River a place that people want to come to. I want to say something, and I want to preface it by saying we're all elected officials, and I respect each and every one of you. And what I saw at the start of this meeting tonight made me a little embarrassed to be up here. I'm not running for any position, and I'm not taking shots at anybody, but I expect when we're up here to treat everybody with a level of respect. And to me, the gentleman's name isn't Tom Kelleher, it's Mayor Kelleher. Mayor Kelleher served in the United States Marines, he served as the Ocean County prosecutor, and he served for 12 years because he was elected by the residents of this town to serve. And that's a Democrat that's saying that about a Republican. But I respect him, and I expect all of us to move forward with that level of respect. Leaders have to lead, and we have to represent everybody that's within this community. Not a certain race, not a certain religion, not a certain creed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some support.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Thank you, Councilman Whitman. Well, our meeting started off with police department promotions, retirements, appointments, and awards. And I think it is a testament to the leadership of Chief Little, our deputy chiefs, and the rank and file of an organization for what they stand for in this community. They are the backbone of our community. I'm very pleased that this council has been able to keep those ranks filled. As we have retirements, we also have promotions. And fiscally, we do what we need to do so we can keep our ranks and files at the numbers and the staffing levels that benefit the residents of Toms River. So I was very happy to see that this evening. Also, yesterday was our Memorial Day parade downtown. Most of the council members joined us in walking with the mayor, and our police department. We had our auxiliary with us, which was nice and everything, and to see the residents come out and support it. Were there enough residents? There's never enough residents at our Memorial Day parade. There's never enough residents at the Veterans Day parade, but every year we try to get out as many people as possible, and I just wanted to say it was a wonderful day for Toms River. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Councilwoman Yurick?
I was just going to thank everyone who did come out to the Memorial Day Parade yesterday. It was a beautiful day, and we had a great time. So And of course, paying respect to our servicemen who have died. And we always want to keep that in the forefront, that that's what that day is all about, paying respect.
Thank you. Councilman Cabell.
I have no further comments this evening.
Okay, Councilman Rodder.
Well, as you can see in Don Guardian's email, it's very clear that there's intent to develop Sibagagi. Don says he's already connected Jack Morris with BASF. And down below, it says they're interested in developing 800 acres or so, and they'll be looking to do that after the tax appeal is over. Now, I know Tom said to the newspaper, he made some disparaging remarks. I was very disappointed that he did that. Especially so
President-
close, excuse me, these are my
Council
closing
President-
comments. These are my closing comments,
Council
sir.
President-
These are my closing comments, sir.
Mo.
These are mine.
He has his.
Thank you.
He has his minutes to.
And Mo, frankly, I'm surprised. So, as I said, if you look down in the master plan, it also says that mixed-use residential will be encouraged on the Sibagagi site. So, Mayor, given written evidence, I'm very disappointed that you would go out and call me a liar to the press. So I know, well, that's like I said, it's right there in writing, and North Dover, frankly, is your legacy, sir. All right, all of the multifamily development that we see going on up there, that's your legacy. And now you expect us to trust you in the face of all this written evidence that there is no plan to develop Sibagagi, but that says right there, sir, that there's a plan to develop Sibagagi. Have you read the master plan, Mayor?
Dan,
Have you read the master plan?
It's really not appropriate to question the mayor. If you want to make a statement.
Well,
you can.
those are my closing comments. He said, like I said earlier,
I understand.
the mayor said he was going to call me out today in the meeting. I've yet to hear anything or see anything that says that I'm wrong here. And I've presented plenty of evidence to the contrary. And I'm very concerned that we would develop property like that and add that much housing to our community. And I'm disappointed in Terrence for not standing up for this. I mean, Terrence and Lori ran on this issue, and now they're reprimanding me. So it's disappointing. It's the number one issue that we face in this community. It's what people care most about, and yet I'm the only voice here in opposition of this project. That's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Council Vice President Hill.
Thank you, Council President. I just feel that Mr. Roderick's comments would be better handled by a press release rather than at a meeting, township meeting. I sit on the Land Use Committee along with Lori and George. There has never, I repeat the word never, been a discussion of a redevelopment area at SEBA. Brian is correct. We're involved in a tax appeal with SEBA. There's been... Wait a minute.
Isn't it in the master plan?
Wait a minute.
Is it in the master plan?
Please,
I didn't interrupt.
Yes, you absolutely interrupted me, sir.
And I
You
said-
absolutely
All right,
did.
stop.
Okay. You absolutely did.
Come on. Allison, you can take that down now. Please, or Mark.
So there's never been a discussion before land use, nor has there ever been a redevelopment plan brought forward by this council. So that, it's a moot point. I mean, Mr. Roderick can say all he wants. There is no.
Master plan, it's right in front of your face, sir. It's in front of your face.
Please,
It's in
guys,
front of your
guys, we
face.
can't
It's in the
allow-
master plan.
we can't-
The master plan that you know voted for.
And-
The master plan you voted for in 2017. It's written right in there, sir.
I would ask
Right
that-
in there.
I would ask
It's
that
in
we
there.
have-
It's not imaginary, sir. It's not imaginary. It's written right there.
Please,
Council
this is
President?
not about a campaign speech here.
It's not
This is-
campaigning. It's about the future of our community, sir. It's
Council
not about
President, I
campaigning.
move that Councilman Roderick apologize to Councilman Hill for interrupting him when he had the floor, and if he is not capable of doing so, that he remove himself from the room for the remainder of this meeting.
Good.
I will not apologize for interrupting him, and,
May I have a second?
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Do a roll call.
Motion for Councilman Roderick to apologize or remove himself made by Councilwoman Yurick, second by Councilman Turnbach.
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick,
Yes.
Councilman Turnbach,
Yes.
Councilman Kubel.
I'll vote, but I find this absolutely childish that we've met this point in politics, because this is actually campaign stuff, so I will vote yes.
Councilwoman Maruka,
I hope this is the last time we have to vote on this, since hopefully the election will be over with, but I vote yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Councilman
I vote
Roderick
yes.
is not eligible to vote on this because it is a sanction against him.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman?
Again, I don't think we should be campaigning at council meetings, so I vote yes. Do
Six
you have anything
affirmative
else to
votes.
say, Councilman Hill?
Just that I want to, again, emphasize what Lori and Maria said about the Memorial Day Parade. Yesterday, it was a beautiful day. It was nice that we were out to honor those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice. There's 2 holidays a year that we recognize veterans. One is in November, when all veterans are recognized, and this Memorial Day is special for those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms. And I want to thank everybody in town that came out and supported the township for the parade. That's all I have.
Thank you. I have one item for consideration.
President,
Yes.
can my motion be carried out, please? Councilman Roderick.
We had
has
4
to either
affirmative votes.
apologize or he has to leave the room.
Well, I
You
know
don't
that-
want me
I don't
in
know that we
executive
can-
session?
I don't know that we can enforce
I have
that.
to, I have to be in executive session.
We
So
enforce that, or no?
it's an interesting motion, but I don't think it actually carries any weight, so.
Well, if you can't apologize, then you need to leave the room. We voted on it.
Again, I need a legal opinion. I can't do it without a legal opinion.
There's no legal basis for this.
I think the motion speaks for itself, but you can't force an individual to make a particular statement. The motion itself is a statement.
Thank you. So again, I'm sorry, but the one item I'd like the council to consider is, yesterday at the Veterans Parade, at the Memorial Day Parade, discussion came from the veterans about the Cathedral of the Air at the Lakehurst Naval Air Station, and apparently the federal government wants to put that up for sale as surplus property. And it's a historical building. It's been constructed in, I guess, in 1930, and it's used by a number of different military families and their friends and relatives, and as well as the employees at Lakehurst. And I think it's something worth preserving. So if we could consider a resolution in support of keeping that facility open as a historical monument, and ask that the congressman work with the Pentagon to ensure that that facility stays in the hands of the federal government as a facility for use at weddings and other affairs, I would appreciate it. So we can work with the American Legion to get the exact wording of that resolution, but I think it's something that we should consider at the next meeting if possible. With that, I'd open up for public comment. I'd ask you to raise your hand if you're interested in speaking. Come to the microphone. You have 5 minutes to speak, and identify yourself and with your name and address for the record. Yes, sir.
Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Frank Davis. I'm currently raising 8 kids in the community. I had 3 from my first marriage, 1 stepchild, and I fostered 4 children. I grew up in Bricktown, and when I grew up there, when I was a kid, the population was about 27,000. We had woods, we had trees, we had parks, we had trails. We had plenty of fishing to do. Now the population of Bricktown is 130,000. I moved to Toms River because I didn't want to be stuck in traffic all the time. I live on the west end, right by Civic-Geiger, because I don't get affected by the traffic that comes down during the summertime. I've raised my family in this community, I've volunteered in this community, and I've served in the military for over 11 years, still serving proudly. I coached football for 7 seasons, only to see budget cuts come in, so now all the freshman level stuff is gone. So all the kids I coached and all my children will no longer know the joy of freshman football, freshman band, and all these things are getting cut. Part of the reasons why they're getting cut is because people are moving in the community that want their kids to go to private schools. And I'm not just saying people that want to move their kids and take them to Lakewood, but there's also Mondon right around the block. And there's also the Christian Academy right next to Intermediate North. So as a citizen in this town, I'm very concerned of overpopulating it because I watched what happened firsthand in Bricktown and also Lakewood. And with the private kids going to private schools, I know they get a stipend, they get refunded. That's $1.1 million that could go back to our kids. My son has 7 varsity ladders. My other son has 4. My daughters are in college. All my children are honor roll. When I got my foster kids, they were 3 years behind in school. They're all on a roll. By constantly cutting the budgets and bringing new people in and overpopulating the area, it's going to affect the quality of their education. I've already watched more kids go into every classroom. Not only that, Retired Admiral, I do admire the VA downtown, but I also have an office right here. And the biggest complaint I get is nobody can get to my office. I remember how hard it was to drive in this town before they redid the streets. If you're bringing all these new businesses and all these condos downtown, we're going to have the same challenge again. So I'm just concerned.
Well, the VA is going to Hooper and Cordina.
Okay.
It's not coming downtown.
Thank
Okay,
goodness.
so we're taking and the post office will move out, and or they're thinking about moving out. We have discussions with them, and the red carpet inn is coming down. It's a blank slate, and we can get a redevelopment person in to look at that area and come up with a plan that revitalizes downtown. Doesn't have to all be housing. We're looking to put more restaurants downtown, more boutique shops,
More parking.
something that would keep people downtown.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr. McPhail?
Bill McPhail, Woodbine Lane. I'm going to shock the heck out of you guys. Normally I stand up here to complain, but not tonight. At the last meeting, May 14th, Councilman Brian Kubel chaired the meeting. And you guys that weren't here don't know what went on. I complained about the inability for me to get through to the building inspector's department to get some work approved that I had done. When I had finished making my case, Brian, along with Don, the town administrator, got their heads together, and I'm going to tell you, in the words of Tom Hanks in Sleepless in Seattle, it was magic.
Yeah.
That next morning, 10 o'clock, I got a call from the inspection department. They set up a time for the Friday following, and they were on time. They did an excellent job of inspecting it. And I just want to compliment you guys and the council people that were here for a great job. I mean, it's not often that I can compliment you, but I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. McPhail.
Thank you, Bill.
First time in 12 years.
Mr. Wenick?
Paul Winnick, Aldo Drive, Tom Sawyer. On a little lighter note, several months ago, I was sitting in the audience and we discussed the netting at the golf course. Now you know this is golf season. Last week, I witnessed an accident that almost occurred in the rain. The fencing that's there, they keep tying it in knots, and it came loose, hooked onto a car's antenna and his windshield wipers. It went up. The only thing that saved the windshield wipers, it popped up and the net popped off. Now, instead of tying that in knots, if you don't have the money to fix it, at least let them cut that netting down so it doesn't blow out on the street. Bay Avenue, right across from the police station. Right. Yeah, because all that netting is down. All right?
All right, thank you. Anyone else? This lady, would you come up, please?
I'm Janet Doremus from Silver Beach, 121 South Bayside Road. Maria knows why I'm here. We had a discussion earlier about this. As you know, the Wawa on Route 35 North presents a problem every summer. We were coming up Route 35 North on Sunday night at about 9:30, and there had to be 10 groups of 20 kids all over the place, crossing in front of the car. We almost hit two because they just don't look, they just walk. And I realize it's a holiday weekend and everything else, but I'm really concerned that we've asked in the past, could we have some sort of a curfew? Brick has a curfew on their beaches, and they don't seem to have the problems that we do. That Wawa is like a magnet, and with social media, These kids just call their friends and everybody converges. We have parents dropping kids off. I don't know where their brains are if they don't think they're going to get in trouble. But I don't want to get graphic, but if you're on Facebook and you look at the Silver Beach Facebook page, you'll see some of the antics that these people, particularly on the Ocean Block, have to put up with. We've hired 2 security guards on our own to keep our beach relatively safe, and maybe that's working because all the kids are now down by Wawa, but if they get chased from Wawa, it's a catch-22. If they get chased from Wawa, they're going to go up to the beach or they're going to go to the Bay Beach. They're going to congregate somewhere, and I'm at a loss as to what to suggest to control it. We've been working with, we know that through Gene Benchowski, I don't remember what his title is. Sergeant, okay. That they have extra patrols and such like that. But I don't know, it just seems each year it gets worse. And somebody's either going to get hurt or there's going to be a brawl that's going to get out of control. Property is being damaged, and I'm just asking for your help to try and support the whole situation. Not support them, obviously, to control it.
Council President, I did have a conversation with Deputy Chief Brosnan, and he's going to be meeting with the management and also possibly the ownership of the Wawa. They have a security detail there now. He feels it'd be more advantageous if they did have Toms River PD special duty there, because they would be in contact with the patrols and things of that nature. Also, when we met with the presidents of the North Beaches, Lieutenant Delane was here, and he expressed that this year they were actually putting an additional quad on the beach, and that will be running, I believe, up until midnight there. So they are putting a few measures in place. I also asked them to take a look at the ordinance from Bricktown and see if there was anything that we could do and how enforceable was it, and how many how many times have they had to enforce that? So they are taking steps. I know they will be working on it, and I've also spoke with our administrator on that, because I know with Atlantic City and some of the beaches down south, he's had some experience there. So Janet, we will.
Yeah, I just have 2 points though
Sure.
with that. Our guards did mention that they did not see the 4x4 at all this weekend.
Okay.
Now, it's possible maybe that they were thinking the patrols would start when our guards come on duty, and that may have been a slip-up. But the other thing is, if Wawa pushes the kids to the beach, then we're in that same situation again.
Yeah. So I think it's a comprehensive solution we have to look at, and not just one. So
I realize
one of the things is that I'm not sure if we have the authority to go on the private beaches for police.
Well,
and
I
if
think
we do have an agreement, let me finish. So if we do have an agreement, and you can all agree on what time you want to limit folks to be on your beach, say from up to 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. or whatever it is, and we have police officers on the beach, then they can coordinate that and enforce that, the curfew is, at least for the beach, is you're not going to be on the beach after 10 p.m. And I think whatever we have for Wortley Beach, which is a Toms River Beach, we should be able to enforce up and down that property, assuming we have the legal authority to go on there with the quad, which sounds like we do.
Yeah,
so that would address that. And then in terms of the Wawa itself, I think, between the video cameras that they have there, as well as putting a special duty police officer there and some other things, and kind of meet with the owners of the Wawa and explain to them it's becoming a public nuisance, maybe we can work that out. But I'd ask the administrator and the mayor to come up with a solution that could work for them.
Yeah, the
rather
only
than
other
just
thing
identify it.
that I wanted to mention, when you said you think the quad runs until midnight, that's when the kids get started. I'm long in bed by then, but the kids, I think we really need the patrols. The guy I spoke to from Brick was on their recreation group, and he said that they patrol all night until the beach rake comes on at 5 in the morning, and then the beach rake would chase them. So I think that it's
I can pass that along to PD.
beyond midnight, yeah.
Okay, so I'll have to look at that and see. Like I said, it's more than just one item. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Janet.
Anyone else? Yes.
Marianne Wallace, 1 Second Avenue, Ortley Beach. I just want to thank you for the action that you took on the land use ordinance, and thank you for giving us more opportunity to continue the discussions with Mr. Roberts and Don. That was, we will put the time to good use, I'm sure. I also want to say that this was a spectacular weekend in Ortley Beach. It was a bit crowded, and I had to get used to all the traffic and after such a quiet winter, but it was really great and everything went well, and I loved seeing the special officers walking along the beach. I saw two young ladies. They looked a little timid or scared, but I'm sure I said hello, and hopefully in a few weeks they'll really be relaxed and ready for the onslaught that we all expect. And on a personal note, I want to thank the mayor for bringing up the measles issue, and I do hope you move forward on that. It's a very important problem that we're facing in this country right now, actually the world, and so thank you for taking some action on that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Gentleman in the back.
Good evening. My name is Chris Raymond. I live on Flack Street. I just wanted to echo a few things that were said tonight. One, I'll go backwards. The gentleman that spoke about the schools and our concerns, I want to thank the council. I believe Councilman Turnbach, Councilman Hill, and a few others did go to Trenton on a couple occasions to try to maybe coerce the governor and Mr. Sweeney to give us back our money. I'm not so sure that's working, but if you don't have kids, you have grandkids in the schools here, and you know how important the schools are. And the reality is not just sports, the arts, a lot of things will be cut if we don't get things turned around. I also want to thank, if I'm saying your name right, Hurick, my neighbor Terrence, and I know several other members about the Code Blue that took place this past winter. I actually went over there with my children. It's amazing what we're doing in this town. We have a lot of homeless people, and I think the town is heading in the right direction to help those who really need help. It's a long time overdue. I had a question regarding the Red Roof Inn being removed. Is there a plan once it's removed? What are we doing? Can I ask that?
Sure. Mr. Guardian, you want to explain what the plan is for that?
I don't want to take much of your time. I just
That's okay.
Sure. So you see almost immediately it'll be landscaped. There'll be a berm there because of the flooding area. Initially, we'll have at least room for 9 kayaks for storage there for residents. More if we have more people sign up, and there'll be parking as well.
My wife's suggestion was another restaurant. No?
No, it's in a low-lying area, so it can't be built.
Okay.
And in all honesty, as they design Herflicker, Water Street, and 166, I think you're going to have to take a chunk of that off to improve traffic flow.
Okay. I don't know if I'll be coming to any more meetings. I have a busy life like most of you. But I did want to thank Mr. Cabell, Mr. Whitman, Mayor Kelleher. This town is doing better because of all of you. I've known you my whole life. I thank you, and I also thank you and Mr. Hill for your military service. And I think it was maybe Mrs. Maruka or Lori. Memorial Day and Veterans Days are real good, and you're right. I wish more people came out. It's one of the better days we have here in Toms River. Thank you, and have a good night. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Seeing none, move to executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Whereas Section 8 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances to discuss matters requiring confidentiality and/or of a privileged nature, and whereas the Township Council is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, excuse me. Now therefore be it resolved by the Township Council of the Township of Toms River and the County of Ocean and State of New Jersey as follows. The Township Council will now conduct a private executive session. General nature of the subject matter to be discussed and or acted upon is as follows. Matters of personnel, matters of litigation, land acquisitions. The following specific items to be discussed and or acted upon are as follows. The executive session minutes of April 9, April 23, and May 14 of 2019. personnel issues at the Township Clerk's Office and Administration, a review of status of all real property acquisitions, review of pending litigation matters, and review of legal obligations under the Equal Pay Act. It is anticipated that the deliberations conducted in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Council that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. Motion to go into executive session was made by Councilman Kubel, seconded by Councilwoman Maruka, with all in favor at 7:52. Do I have a motion to go back into general public session? All in favor? Okay, we have several sets of executive session minutes to approve. I will read them separately, and I will say who is eligible to vote. We have first the set of April 9, 2019, and ineligible to vote are Councilwoman Maruka and Councilman Kubel. The minutes of April 9th, 2019, moved by Councilman Turnbach, second by Councilman Hill. All in favor? Oh, sorry, okay. Motion made by Councilman Turnbach, second by Councilman Hill. Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Councilman Hill? Yes. Councilwoman Yurick? Yes. Councilwoman Maruka?
Abstain, I did not attend.
Councilman Roderick?
Abstain? No, this is what you were there.
You were there, the 9th you were there.
Okay, yes.
Council Vice President? Yes, I'm sorry, this roll call is wrong. Council, let's see. Who's left? Council President Whitman?
Yes.
And I abstain.
Yes. Hold on. Okay, next up, we have April 23rd, 2019, and absent from that meeting were Councilman Kubel, Councilman Roderick, and Council President Whitman.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Turnbach, second by Councilwoman Maruka. Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick? Yes. Councilman Kubel? Councilman Roderick?
Abstain.
Council Vice President Hill?
Yes.
Council President Whitman? Last but not least, we have May 14th. Motion made by Councilman Turnbach, second by Councilwoman Yurick. Councilman Turnbach?
Yes.
Councilwoman Yurick? Yes. Councilman Kubel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Maruka?
Yes.
Councilman Roderick?
Yes.
Council Vice President Hill?
Abstain.
Abstain.
Council Vice President Hill? Council President Whitman? And do I have a motion to close?
So moved.
All in favor? At 8:23, what does that say? 31, sorry. Thank you.